Let's finish this up. I am on the page that says contemporary behavior therapy. Contemporary behavioral therapy is comprised of divergent, meaning very different types of treatments and emphases of application. So it is quite heterogeneous and applied to a variety of different disorders. All contemporary behavior therapy is based on the 3 C's. One C you've already become familiar with, and that's counter-conditioning. Counter-conditioning is associated with what form of therapy? Hopefully you said systematic desensitization. That's where it started with. Contingency management. Contingency management refers to the idea that behavior is controlled by its consequences. So any behavior that leads to a positive consequence is likely to occur again. Often the positive consequence is one that we would look at not in the long run, but in the short term. So you have a bad day at school. You're really, really tense, frustrated. It's been a difficult day. You go home, eat ice cream. That tasted good. I feel better. Yes, right then you may feel better, but have a lot of bad days or get into a habit of emotional eating whereby a person almost seems to get into a pattern where he or she cannot experience relaxation unless eating, then that can lead to a lot of long-term negative health consequences. For instance, increased weight, pain in joints, high blood pressure, cardiac illness. So oftentimes behavior therapy is very interested in what is the consequence immediately, because that is where it seems to be most important. All right, contingency management. Behavior is controlled by its consequences. Reinforcement. A behavior is likely to occur again when followed by a reinforcement. Unusual behavior or bizarre behavior is controlled by its reaction. So Jim Carrey, I saw him on a late night talk show several years ago, and he said that his life as a normal human ended the night his third grade teacher, or the day his third grade teacher said to him, "Jim, if you will stop cracking all these jokes during the day, you can have 5 minutes at the end of the day where you can say any joke you want." That was so rewarding to this young man that set him off on his course as a comic. Okay. Punishment, we didn't talk much about that, but that is a behavior decreasing. So let's say a child is about to run in the street, parent gives the child a swat, the child never runs in the street again, right? The target behavior is street running and it's stopped. We would say that punishment has occurred and it worked. Often what ends up happening, however, in punishment is the child learns that the punishment is associated with a particular person, and so the child won't run in the street if mom's around, but if mom's not around, the child may run in the street. Or that's what the opponents to punishment would say. One thing that is important to know in contemporary behavior therapy is that there often are discriminative stimuli, meaning there are these certain stimuli that seem to occur right before a behavior can occur. So let's say my children want to do something naughty. They want to do something they know they're not supposed to do. The discriminative stimuli that it's going to be okay for them to do something naughty would be if they see me get my keys, find my keys, and I'm walking to the door. That might be the clue for Danny, say, to go on the computer. Now, fortunately, he can't get on the computer because we have lots of passwords and things set up. But often, before a particular behavior occurs, there often will be signs that it's about to happen. And those signs can be very useful when planning a behavior modification program. A functional analysis, basically that is the process of identifying a target behavior and the stimulus situations that set up for the occasion of the maladaptive behavior. So what are the antecedents? What happens right before the bad behavior occurs? And what happens right after? So you are setting up the ABC behavioral chain. We're really not going to talk much about cognitive behavior therapy because we will be going into that next week. It looks like I took out the notes for dialectical behavior therapy, and I'm glad that I did. Although DBT, dialectical behavior therapy, is associated with behavior therapy, it's a very complex therapy that doesn't fit easily within the confines of this lecture. We will talk a bit more about DBT next week.